Would you give up your right to vote to have an impact on America as a whole, on your rights, on the law, everything, just so that the country will align more with your political values? If you're a woman, I imagine that thought would be especially heinous. But as it turns out, there is a large and proud and organized movement of conservative women whose entire goal and stated purpose is, and I quote, to give up their rights to vote for a more conservative America. We've got a very interesting, I think this is CNBC, documentary? Deep dive? I don't know what you want to call it, but I saw this. People were recommending that I watch it, and it caught my interest. So let's dive in, shall we? See what this is all about.
Are you planning on voting in the midterms?
The people that voted for Trump are just very fed up. Both my husband and I are really disappointed.
What is the #1 motivating factor for you when you decide, who you're going to vote for?
I don't want a party that's going to tell my son he can cut off his penis.
Your plan is to vote Republican?
Yes. The Republican Party is...
I don't want to vote for the party that's going to tell my son that he can do something. That's a crazy statement. Holy shit, chat. Spot the insane possessive parent. Challenge none.
My son, he can cut off his penis.
Your plan is to vote Republican?
Yes. The Republican Party is...
Also, imagine basing your political, beliefs off of your son's penis. There is... What are people... I think the term is emotional incest. I think emotional might be carrying a little bit too much weight in this case, honestly.
Party of freedom.
These are some of the voters that Donald Trump and his Republican Party desperately need in order to hold onto power.
Chat, the true, based, giga-chad feminist take is that women are just men with less muscles, alright? If that offends you, it's because it's true. It's because it's true. It's why I don't really get, salty about, the statements where it's men are this, men are that. Because, it applies just as much to women. Women are just men with less muscles. They're just as prone to toxic politics, toxic traits, toxic behaviors. They just have different ways of imposing it. Men, being stronger and larger, have created a society that specifically keeps women oppressed in a very overt and in-your-face way. Just in the same way that men on a smaller, micro level use their strength and size in order to get what they want, particularly when it comes to women. And women obviously don't have the strength and the size, but every human who's any human who's a bad person, is an asshole, has bad politics, they use what they have to achieve their ends. So I hate this tendency among the left to see women as a monolith of like a wall against fascism. The fact is, particularly white women in America were the vanguard of many a segregation movement, a fight against the civil rights in the past. So many white women stood in front of judges arguing they did not feel comfortable sharing spaces with black people, trying to use their white woman tears to motivate racist law, either to stay in place or to be put into place. So just we gotta refine our feminist rhetoric. We gotta refine our feminist rhetoric. That's what I think.
Conservative, mostly Christian women at a leadership summit hosted by...
Oh, and Christianity is the devil.
Turning Point USA. The right-wing advocacy group led by Erica Kirk.
She literally can't, what is it about Erica Kirk where she can't not come onto stage it's like she's a WWE wrestler? She goes on stage and his name is John Cena! That's how she goes on stage every time. She's literally famous for being a widow. It's just so... It's so out of pocket.
After the assassination of her husband, Charlie Kirk.
Love you guys.
We hate Charlie Kirk.
Turning Point is influential with young voters. President Donald Trump has credited the organization with helping him get reelected and bringing more young voters into the conservative movement.
It's such a great place to be in here in America, is being young, being a female, being conservative. They all just play hand in hand together.
But fractures in this movement are emerging. A main stage headliner is no longer backing.
Yeah, listen, All I'm going to say is, this segment, there's a very good reason why I'm not using my favorite insult for conservatives, raped wingers, because using it to describe these women, I might be hitting at tender spots I don't want to actually be hitting at. Like, let's be real. Women in conservative communities, spaces, in the movements in general, they're victims of constant sexual abuse in all sorts of ways. Do you guys remember what Lauren Southern exposed? I know, fuck Lauren Southern or whatever, she's Nazi, I get that, but as a woman who was getting harassed by men in like the conservative space, I think it's worth listening to her and taking it seriously, especially considering she posted so much evidence. But like Paul Joseph Watson, and I believe, God, it wasn't just PJW, it was like 4 or 5 prominent conservative men were in Lauren Southern's DMs, just unhinged, just fucking unhinged trying to get at her. Listen, guys, no matter how much you hate Lauren Southern, just know people like Paul Joseph Watson would literally blow their fucking lid off if they saw that she follows me on Twitter. Okay? Because they absolutely scared her ass off by being such weirdos, and they're part of the same movement. That's the crazy thing. Lauren Southern would rather follow someone who believes the opposite of her political values than her fellow conservatives because they were such creeps to her in DMs. So I do not buy when a conservative Christian woman says there's no better combination to be in the world. It's like, I think I'd rather be a fish in an alligator pond, because that's pretty analogous to what you are as a conservative Christian woman surrounded by conservatives.
Trump or Republicans saying she won't vote in the midterms.
He made it seem like everything was going to become more affordable. Now the economy's worse.
Yep.
You know, he promised no more wars in the Middle East, and we are in a war. So it's disappointing.
Thank you so much. Savannah Stone is a 21-year-old Tradwife influencer with 8...
Oh my god. Okay, you know what? I need to update my site emotes. I'm realizing it's been way too long, probably over a year since I updated the site emotes, and there are so many new memes. We've got hightail ones we could be adding too. I need to update site emotes. We need Truth Nuke, for one. We need Cinema. We need, like, Gem. Gem Alert needs to be an emote. We need some hightail emotes. We need an Agartha. We need a Kirk emote. I don't know how we don't have a Kirk emote. Oh my god, I gotta lock in on that shit.
100,000 followers on social media. She is a rising star in Christian conservative circles.
Oh, Vril! We need a Vril emote, exactly. Yes, a Vril emote. That's exactly what we need. Good call.
She embraces highly controversial fringe positions.
I'm going to start this off really strong. I don't think women should vote anyways. If somebody asked me, if the government was like, okay, if we could have a more conservative country, if all women gave up their vote, I would gladly give up my right to vote to have a more conservative country.
There's a lot of churches that talk about it.
Stone argues that women voters are too liberal, so the U.S. should shift to a one vote per household system.
Now, is that
This is something that I find very distressing. There is this mindset among left-leaning women that has gotten very popular that, like, even a conservative MAGA Trump-voting woman is still a woman, and a left-wing, giga-leftist, hyper-feminist man is still a man. And so for a lot of leftist women, they genuinely would prefer, like, to give charitability to a right-wing, anti-women voting Tradwife influencer conservative than they would to, like, a man who has all of the same politics as them, because gender. The gender essentialism is a toxicity that thankfully isn't too bad on the left right now. I do feel like the left is not, like, gender politics just isn't really at the forefront right now. We're much more focused on the genocide that Israel's doing to Palestinians. It's kind of taken a lot of attention. But when or if that stops being the main thing everyone's always talking about, when gender politics are back at the forefront, you better believe that gender essentialism stuff is going to once again be everywhere you look on the left. And it's pretty self-destructive. I don't know, man, Roe v. Wade being overturned? Well, yeah, keep in mind how that was literally on the ballot. Women knew Roe v. Wade was on the ballot in the 2024 election and did not come out to vote for Kamala Harris in the numbers that were projected or expected. It was extremely shocking how many women chose to vote for Trump or didn't turn up to vote at all, despite abortion being blatantly on the ballot. That was a big wake-up call, I think. That no, there is not this unified sisterhood at all. If anything, like, if you're like a leftist or progressive woman, a conservative woman is not your sister, but a liberal or leftist man should be your brother in arms, so to speak.
A hill I'm going to die on and run for office and try to complete? No. That's not my main message. That's just one of the opinions that I hold, because I think that would be better for society.
I actually do agree with her. I would as well give up my vote if it got rid of things like abortion.
We spoke with several.
There you go. She would give up all women's rights to vote if it meant abortion was gone forever. This is what I'm talking about. This woman is not your sister. You have no sisterhood with this woman. No gender essentialism in Woke 2.0.
Women open to giving up their own rights in pursuit of a more Christian conservative America.
My perspective as a Christian woman is that my husband and I are one flesh. I vote the same way he does, so honestly, I would be okay with giving up my right to vote because I know that he would represent me well.
If my husband's the head of the household, I am the neck, and we work very cohesively together. So I would imagine if he was voting on behalf of our household, I would be fine with that.
Do you think your daughter should have the right to vote?
I'd be okay if she didn't, because I also know she's going to...
1/3 of women oppose abortion? Yep. It is... There's no sisterhood, guys. And there cannot be this, like, gender essentialist delusion of unified sisterhood in Woke 2.0. Can't happen, okay? It's just not real. It's not real. There's no, like, unified brotherhood of like, men. And it doesn't... The gender essentialist worldview has to die. It really does. Like, the incels that see, like, everything as a gender war, all that shit, like we got to stomp out that way of seeing the world utterly and entirely. Like, we have to bring back, like, some level of like, seeing people as people and not woman or man, like, label first.
Marry a biblical man, that they would also be in line.
But the vast majority of women here say this remains a conversation for the fringe.
I think the best thing that we can do is hold conferences like this to educate liberal women and hopefully sway them to the conservative side.
I think women should be voting.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to give up my right to vote, ever.
I wish we got to see the interviews with their husbands. Can you imagine the horrible shit they would be saying? Like, oh my god. Oh man. I'm so sad we don't get, like... I almost wish they separated husband, wife, and interviewed them both, and then we got the juxtaposition of their responses to that question. Such a missed opportunity. I know this is like a women's-oriented event, and there's probably not many men, but still, that would have been great.
And most women we spoke with plan to exercise their right to vote in the midterm elections. Most plan to support Republicans.
Oh, damn it. I cannot afford to get fired from my job right now. I'm still trying to pay off that painting I commissioned.
Candidates, most are united by their socially conservative views.
You know, it's all about the love.
It's the transgender agenda. It's the, I don't feel like schools need to be teaching. Go back to reading, writing, arithmetic.
What is the #1 motivating factor for you when you decide, who you're going to vote for?
I don't want a party that's going to tell my son he can cut off his penis. I don't want to vote for a party that tells whites they don't matter.
Okay.
This is no place for Turning Point USA.
They promote bigotry, they promote racism, they promote, things that we're against as human nature.
Wherever this movement is headed, expect protests to follow.
They're resisting.
Are we having fun yet?
Some demonstrators outside this event dressed as characters from The Handmaid's Tale, a dystopian book and TV series, to make their point.
I have a problem with them trying to persuade people that their goal in life as a woman is to keep house and raise babies.
What? You want to come say something to me, sweetheart? Yeah, I will.
Oh yeah, here's one of those husbands trash talking the counter protesters with, like, threats. Look at this no neck, this thumb. 1, 2, 3. Sorry, I'm just counting the rings.
Tensions here are raw. All of it yet another example of the deeply polarized politics of the moment.
Women hold up half the sky. Charlie Kirk deserves to die.
God, the tankies. Oh, the tankies. The tankies. I need tanky to stop being the trendy form of leftist to be. I need it to go back to being anarchist. Please, please let this. There are many pendulums. There's the overall societal pendulum that swings left and right. And then you have the mini pendulums within the left and right, where you've got like the more libertarian and authoritarian sides that are dominant at any given time. And right now, the pendulum is at the right, and the pendulums are swung to authoritarian, so to speak. So we've got like the authoritarian right is on top, and within the left, the authoritarian left is on top. What the fuck is a tanky? An authoritarian leftist. You're actually you know what? This is one of the small uses of Google's AI. I will give the most concise definition possible. A tanky is a derogatory political label for authoritarian communists. It specifically refers to hardline leftists who defend, justify, or deny the use of military force and human rights abuses by Marxist-Leninist regimes. In reference to the tanks in Hungary, the term originated from the Communist Party of Great Britain in 1956. It was used as an insult for party members who defended the Soviet Union's decision to send military tanks into Hungary to violently crush the anti-Soviet revolution. And then Prague Spring, the definition was reinforced in 1968 when the USSR sent tanks into Czechoslovakia to stop the Prague Spring reforms. Basically, it is a leftist insult for authoritarians who make excuses or deny the existence of human rights abuses by authoritarian, quote-unquote, communist regimes. Authoritarian communist is an oxymoron? Well, right now, authoritarian communists are the majority of communists, it would seem. So that's my point. When I say, like, leftism is fucked right now, it's because, like, most of the leftist movement is made up of authoritarians who think they are, like, communists, who think that they are libertarian or fighting for some kind of freedom or reform or revolution or liberation, etc. They're not. They are not. But yes, that is the definition of tanky, and that's where the origin comes from.
These protesters' shouts infuriating some inside the Women's Summit.
Happiness comes and goes, and I pray that you find it.
Motivating
I would have just yelled Charlie Squirt.
Others to push ahead, to create the change they seek.
Yep. Listen, chat. My belief when it comes to gender politics is that if your politics involve in any way telling anyone to close their legs, you've gone too far. All right? If you're telling women, don't be a whore, close your legs, if that's the kind of shit you're saying, you're a creepy weirdo incel. You need to lighten up, buddy. You need to fix that, move away from that, figure yourself out. And if your politics are getting mad about manspreading on the subway, you also should probably reorient your concerns to more important issues. That's pretty much like the telling people to close their legs is my line when it comes to gender politics. No matter which side of the issue you're on, if you're telling people to close their legs, I think you're full of it. That's my conclusion. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, leave a like, subscribe, ring the bell icon, and follow my social medias linked down below if you want to see more from me. And if you want to go the extra mile, you can always donate, subscribe, gift a sub on my website, xanderhall.com/live, or support me in the same way over on YouTube. I always appreciate it, and thank you for watching.